solving mysteries in the night. Chasing shadows, finding answers, shining bright light. No one's left behind in the darkness, all alone. With a heart like a siren, she brings the lost ones home. Silent cries in the dark no longer have to be, for justice wheels keep turning, granny on the beat. Broken voices find their power, call out hope again. When these crime busters run, no victims left in vain. Bravery in her veins, truth she won't disguise. With a fire in her eyes, she's got nothing to deny. Granny fights for justice, never backs down from the call. For the voiceless and the missing, she'll stand tall.
Hello, hello, everybody. How is everybody doing tonight? You're all doing well. Hello, Katie. Good to see you. Looks like you're the first one in. Welcome in. Welcome in. So there hasn't been a whole lot going on the last couple of days with Jack and Lilly, other than some rumors kind of thing, and I don't like to address those too much, but a little bit of that going on. Hello, K9, good to see you. Good to see you. So we'll get started with our spotlight on the missing. We have Chelsea Lagos. She's been missing since October 26, 2022, guys. Last seen Memphis, Tennessee, 17 years old, 5 feet 1 inches tall, 130 pounds, black hair and brown eyes. Really pretty young girl there. If anybody knows anything about Chelsea's whereabouts, please call the Memphis Police Department, 911 or 1-800-GBI-FIND. Next one is Demarion Deshaun Moorhead. Demarion has been missing since May 24th, just a few days ago. Last seen in Nashville, 11 years old, 5 feet 9 inches tall, 140 pounds, black hair and brown eyes. He's a big young man for 11 years old. It's either that or they got his age wrong. I don't know, but that's what it said there. If anybody knows anything about where Demarion may be or his disappearance, please call the Nashville Police Department, 911 or 1-800-GBI-FIND. All right. Jackie, oh, hello, hello. Good to see you. Good to see you. Glad you're here. So basically, I was going to show a post from Mr. Yummy, but all it really said was he was showing somebody a creator's video where she was talking about how family of Jack and Lilly spoke out. And he was questioning the validity of it because it was a screenshot that she posted. And he brought up the point that the picture on the screenshot might not even be the person who, and it was, I did look her up. So it was the biological father's sister, I believe, near as I could tell. Hello, Ginger Girl. Drama in your neighborhood, that's never good. So I decided against it because he was I mean, he was being somewhat nice about it, but in reality, he was saying that he would never put that out on his channel, but he did, right? Because he was saying how people, shouldn't do that kind of thing, and he talked about how law enforcement was talking about people pushing narratives and false narratives, and he said, and this is an example of that, and I didn't like that. I didn't like that he did that. So I wanted to make you aware of it because I did try to find the post. I couldn't find it. It wasn't the first time I saw it though, so I have wondered if it wasn't legit. When you go to that woman's Facebook page, she does have pictures of Lily and Jack on her Facebook page. So, I mean, I don't know, right? She was talking about abduction, that kind of thing. So, I mean, I don't know. Oh no. DV incident in front of your place. Oh, that's never good. But that brought back some triggers, huh, Ginger? That's never good, right? Hello, Factory Girl. Good to see you. But there is a video that I did want to share with you. And we'll go ahead and do that. Make sure that you guys can see it. Wow. Oof. Okay.
They gave you a clue when they said no abduction. That's a big statement to make at this early in the game.
It's been 24 days since Lily and Jack Sullivan were reported missing from their home in Lansdowne Station. Family members have speculated the children were taken, but police have remained adamant they do not believe the siblings were abducted. According to Nova Scotia's recently updated policing standards, abduction is defined as when a person under 18 years of age or a vulnerable person is taken without the permission of their legal guardian. Jim Hoskins is a retired HRP officer and former major crimes staff sergeant. Despite not working the Sullivan case himself or being privy to any information regarding RCMP's ongoing investigation, he can see only two remaining possibilities.
What I see from the outside, there's only two options here. Criminal involvement, search, they haven't found them yet. They legitimately got lost in the woods. I felt, okay, let's give them a couple of days to see if these kids are just wandered off because they're only 6 and 4. So are they lost? They'll find them, maybe. If not, let's see how far it goes. And I says, and if it goes beyond 2 or 3 days, uh-oh. That was my reaction. What's next? Uh-oh.
A feeling felt across the province that could be driving public obsession with this case.
Canada in 2024, there were just over 30,000 cases of missing children. The vast majority of those cases involve runaways or they involve teens. And actually about 90% of those cases are resolved within a 1-week period. So anytime cases deviate from that, right, I think that is going to draw in the public. And of course, there's the public's desire to see it resolved.
Although Stevens cannot comment on individual cases, she says when children in particular go missing, this tends to be harder for the public to digest.
It taps into a lot of the fears that, for example, parents might hold about the safety of their children. But it's really important to remember that of those, for example, 30,000 cases, about 0.1% were cases of like a stranger or parental abduction.
Despite rumors online of criminal motives and cover-ups, Lily and Jack's stepfather, Daniel Martel, has refuted all claims of his involvement, offering to take a polygraph test. And Hoskins says there's still a chance the children are close by.
You can't write it off and say they're definitely not in the woods. I can still say you can get overlooked. You can overlook bodies.
Searchers were back in the woods near the home a week ago, but there have been no significant updates since. In all his years as a police officer, Hoskins says what strikes him most is the probability of something like this happening.
It's bizarre. If you ask me what was bizarre, I'd say, in this case, 2 with this particular family. 2 are gone.
Ella MacDonald, Global News.
Interesting. In this case, 2 are gone, right? Yeah, it does me too, K9. Hello, Maui. Good to see you. So the statistics are that 1% of abduction cases are strangers. Okay. The other thing that they said is, I mean, they buckled down and said no abduction, right? And this ex-cop, another one, says that's a big statement to make right at the outset. Yeah, very rare, isn't it? You know, boy and a girl, 2 years apart in age, both seemingly have some kind of problem, possible autism. I'm thinking it's more from the long use of pacifiers and speech. What we looked up and talked about the other day. But yes, when you think of 2 from one family being gone at the same time and then not being found in the woods. Granted, you heard this cop say they can be overlooked, right? So it can happen. When you look at everything that they had to walk over, little children like that can hide into little, under logs and crooks and crevices, right? Maybe to stay warm. I mean, I don't know. Just, it's heartbreaking to think about that, these 2 kids are just gone. And it really does speak foul play to me. It really does. Something happened with one or both, and there was some kind of cover up, in my opinion. And now it's like things have gone suddenly quiet, right? I looked at that page on that website in regards to Jack and Lilly. There is nothing new on here, guys. So the last, let's see, update was May 18th. And Nova Scotia News, the last one was May 16th. So we're talking over 10 days, guys, about 10 days, where there's nothing being said. Yeah. We have another Sebastian Rogers case, don't we, K9? That's what I'm thinking. It's they were removed from the home somehow, some way. Which is extremely sad. And where were they taken, right? I have seen people's opinions. There are many that believe that they took them toward the ocean. And after looking at that, I had to wonder that too. If you're trying to get rid of 2 children, where are you going to take them so that they're never found? Right? Just awful if you think about it. Where are you going to take them? You know, just sad to me when you think about everything that's going on. Beaumont children or something. Someone abducted 3 children at once. Wow. When was that, Katie? Were they from the same family? And was it stranger abduction? Because that is really rare. Stranger abduction happens in about 1% of the cases, they said. I also saw some people trying to analyze the footage from that lady's cameras from her trail cam. You don't believe they ever caught the person? Wow. And they were trying to say that there was a pink shirt there standing in the background by a tree, and I'm like, it was another blob picture, guys. And people just stop already. You can't make this stuff up. It doesn't help anything, right? The police have the original footage, so 1966. Gotcha. And they were stranger. Okay. That's really weird. And that's very unusual. Because like I said, stranger abductions happen in about 1%. Family abduction is more prominent in these types of cases. But it's awful. I just, I would really like to know what is on the minds of these RCMP officers. Because like this officer said, it's a big statement to say no abduction from the get-go. And in Sebastian's case, they didn't actually say abduction, but they said, we have no reason to believe there's anything suggesting foul play, right? Kind of same thing, but that's right. Just like we saw in Sebastian's case, where there is no information, people will go back and create stories to keep it moving. They do, and they will, Hello, Brenda Joe. Good to see you. They will and they do, right? And yeah. And I just saw another video on Sebastian's case where they said Oh, what was it? I forget. It, Ginger Girl, do you remember what the narrative was on that case that we just heard about this morning? That was a new theory about Sebastian. A guy befriended them at the beach and took them one day. Wow. And where was that at, Katie? Do you know? And that's the thing I don't want to see with Jack and Lily's case is the start of that kind of information. That woman should not have given out that trail cam footage, in my opinion, because she gave it to police. She needed to leave it there. Guys, we don't need to know that stuff. And all it does is creates a problem where there is none, right? All kinds of scenarios and false assumptions. Oh, that's right. That's right, Ginger. Yes. So, um, yeah, somebody said that Sebastian walked out of the house barefooted, which we know he did not because there was no scent trail, right? But just bear with me here. He walked out of the house, and it's so dark, and he had on those dark clothes, right? See, he had on those dark clothes. And he's walking barefoot down the middle of the road, and somebody hit him. Somebody ran him over. And I'm like, okay, if that happened, first of all, why was there no scent of Sebastian anywhere? Because if they hit him, dogs would have picked that up. Secondly, why didn't they call the police if they hit him? Right? You know, and if it was a hit and run, then his body would have still been there. So that, they're making up stuff just for something to talk about. And that is the stupidest thing I've ever heard of, right? Just crazy. Make up stuff just to have something to talk about, so you can put that, hashtag Sebastian on your video and get clicks and views from it. That's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. Anytime I see something that says breaking news, new updates, this is bad, I question it immediately now. I don't trust hardly anybody anymore, guys. It's awful. It's awful. Heard someone say that a long time ago, reruns. Well, this was a new video. It wasn't a rerun. But yeah. We all know Sebastian didn't walk out the house, right? We know that. And I don't believe Jack and Lily did either, right? If they did, I think they were told to get into the car or something and were taken somewhere. That's what I think. Not the video, but the story. Yeah. Yeah, I agree. They go back and they look to see, well, what can I talk about? Oh, this one didn't get very many views. Maybe I can talk about this. It's just, hello, Melissa. Good to see you. Yeah, that's probably exactly what happened, K9. Yeah. Yeah, I do too. Dylan's dad. Certain people. You know, I don't have a lot of faith in some people that have missing children. I'll just put it that way. I did want to share with you, if I can find it here. Might have been on a different thing. But anyway, guys, there are a couple of links that are going around to sign petitions in regards to Sebastian. So the one there is one that I'm not sure is okayed by Seth. But both are asking for someone other than Craddock to take over. Seth put up a petition back in April of 2024, over a year ago, guys, asking the FBI to take over the investigation. And then we heard later that they can't just take over an investigation. The leading agency has to release it to them, right? Well, that one has like 19, almost 20,000 signatures on it, and I did sign it. That was Seth's petition. I did sign that one. Yeah, Ginger just put the link to his in the chat. So I did sign that one. There is another one, and people are urging Craddock to step down from Sebastian's case. Craddock and Carter. He has 19,647 signatures. Yeah. So, you know, if you'd like to help Seth, he's not giving up, guys. He will not give up. I think you've all by now seen his interview with the newscast. I know that a lot of people were playing it. I opted not to because so many were playing it. And I don't blame him for being upset at all. At all. He's got a lot going on and nothing being done. You know, he even said that he's looking up leads. He's following up on leads, and the leads he's following up on say that they have not heard from Sumner County or TBI or Brandon Carter or Craddock or anybody. So, there, you know, what is Seth supposed to think? Now, I am not the kind of person that's going to tell you guys to go write letters, because I don't like going real life on things like that. I don't know if it's gonna harm the investigation more than it's gonna help. So I would never tell anyone to do that. Okay. So a petition is a little bit different, in my opinion. I don't know if, if it's going to make a difference, because he's asking the FBI to take over, right? But so I don't know, but petition is different than a writing letters to law enforcement. Okay. Here's one of my thoughts. Writing letters to law enforcement, to Sumner County, if we already feel like they're not doing enough on Sebastian's case, think about letters coming in. That's even going to take them more away from the case. Is it a catch-22? Yes, I guess it is, but we have to trust. We have to have faith and trust. Yeah. Seth said he contacted the Attorney General and FBI. They contacted Sumner County and they didn't want the help. Yes. Yes, they did. So, and now they're calling for Craddock to step down, right? I will say this. I think that there is a lot that is corrupt in Sumner County, and I don't think I was looking actually at who follows, who's above who. And I mean, in this case, you'd almost need to go to the Vice President of the United States, because I didn't realize the governor of a state is way up there, guys. So I'm just saying, yeah, letters are not going to fix corruption. And it's only going to keep them from working whatever they do on the case, right? So, but, and it's really sad, because I feel like Seth has got to be feeling like he's just banging his head against a brick wall, getting nowhere, right? So, anyway, we're not going to get into the politics of things. But I just wanted to bring that up, that the corruption is so deep, guys, that until or unless the corruption is taken care of, you're not going to see anything happen. And I'm not suggesting anybody go out and write the vice president, for sure. Getting back to Jack and Lilly, you have to wonder, I mean, are they still combing through footage? Are they you know, what are they doing behind the scenes? You know, how much trail cam footage did they get? What are they looking through? What exactly are they doing behind the scenes? Because they're not telling us. Yeah, letters and petitions didn't help the other case. It just got the DA mad. Yeah. And guys, let me tell you, you don't even want to go there. Honestly, don't go there. I'm telling you, I mean, you do what you feel in your heart you must do, okay? But in my opinion, it's not going to do any good to write the DA let's start to write Craddock, to write the DA, to write the governor. Not going to do any good. So, but yes, I would like to be a fly on the wall at the RCMP to see, you know, what exactly are they doing in that case, right? Are they going through the footage? What, where are their thoughts going? You know, we know that they did go back and search a little more. What did they find anything? What tips have come in? What, you know, where are they going with this case? Right. I don't think they're going to like this newfound actions, and something needs to be done, just not overdone. I just don't want to see anyone hurt, K9. That's what I'm getting at, right? They're not going to like this. They're not going to like it, right? If they think that Craddock will step down, they're so wrong on so many levels. I mean, if that happened, I would be so shocked, and I would go on and alive and say, guys, I am shocked. I was wrong. It would blow me away if that happened, but I don't see it happening. I think that something would have to be uncovered by someone. Yeah, I just don't see it happening. My grandma used to tell me you catch more flies with honey than vinegar. It's really true. It's really true. Remember that in the Sebastian Rogers case, there were a lot of threats made. We're talking lives of people. Hits put out, serpentine belts cut, tires slashed. I mean, it isn't worth it. It isn't worth it. I think, honestly, that our prayers are more powerful than in any letter we could ever write. Yeah, the more they push him, the more he'll take a stance, and he's not gonna back down. I really don't believe he will. You know, really don't believe he will. And I find it really sad that there's only one person on Sebastian's case, and that's Brendan Carter. Right. And I get it, guys. I understand that after a while, you can't have buku amounts of people on one case, right? But from what I'm hearing is he takes a lot of time off, right? But um looks like there may have been a request sent to Washington FBI for Sebastian. I'm not sure how they will respond. Too bad the threats have shut down the sharing of information. Yeah. And guys, remember when I got upset and did my members only live because I was upset about an ex FBI agent totally doing an about face, right? What's going on behind the scenes? Who is getting to people is my question, even in the FBI, right? And yeah, as far as Jack and Lilly, you know, police have said it's no abduction, right? They're standing firm on that. Well, then it has to be family, right? Family driven. And it does make you wonder, who is responsible for taking those kids away from their home and doing whatever, to those children. Um, yeah, I've heard things about the brother as well, K9, and it's not good, right? Yeah, I believe that mom has some guilty knowledge as well. K9, even though she may not have done anything directly, I think she has guilty knowledge, right? Um, and are they still not talking, or are they talking now? Was that all an act? Or, I mean, we can honestly look at that and say, was that an act? Or are they really, is she really blaming Daniel? That's a good question, Melissa. I don't know. Here's what I'm going to say. I'm going to say I don't think so. And the reason that I say that is because I like to have faith in humanity. And even if people even if people act and speak differently than how I would like, I still would like to think that if they found out that something nefarious was done, and if they were told something like that they would do the right thing. And having said that, I could be totally wrong. But I think K9, she's talking about Sebastian's case. Yeah, there has been chatter about Bastion showing up when he's 18. In my opinion, if that happened, then it would be because they put him somewhere and he got released when he's 18. And at that point, they could be in big trouble. Obstacle channel and truth belong in the same sentence. But we're talking. I know what you're saying, K9, but we're talking. Lacey, come sit down now. Be good. But we're talking about taking someone's life, ultimately, right? And if they were told that and knew that, I'd like to think that they would do the right thing. I would like to think that nobody wants Sebastian to be gone. That makes sense. So, but I sincerely hope that Jack and Lily's case doesn't turn into what's happened in Sebastian's case, where there's clear-cut sides and yeah, I just hope that doesn't happen here. Well, right, but right now they have nothing to lose if they don't know anything, right? I mean, I don't watch them either, K9, so I don't know. I don't even know how they're talking about Jack and Lily, to be honest with you. So I don't know. Yeah, and the whole situation with Malaya leaving the home. I mean, that's nothing has been said by RCMP. So RCMP have not come out and said they told her to leave the home. So, anything we're hearing there, we just, that could be rumor. I don't think we should look into it too much one way or the other because we don't know the facts, right? There could be a lot there. Daniel has told us that he tried to see Meadow. He went to CPS headquarters and tried to see Meadow, and they said, no, you cannot right now. So he has stated that. Whether that's true or not, I don't know. Yeah, he is the only one doing any of the talking. So, can he be trusted? I don't know yet. I we only heard from Malaya once, right? And her statements just didn't sit well with me. But then some of Daniel's statements haven't sat well with me either. So it's hard to know what the truth is here, right? It's really difficult to know what the truth is right now with this case. Very difficult to know. It's kind of like Sebastian's. We don't have a lot to go on, right? He just went poof like a ninja. And so did Lily and Jack. I want to know how that happens. So did Dylan. Poof, like a ninja. Summer Wells. Poof, like a ninja. No, Canine, I haven't heard it. I've been watching for statements, and I haven't heard anything. So, and I do agree that sometimes too much information can come out. People can get caught up, make things up, you know. Perpetrators can be a step ahead of everything, right? I've often wondered that about Sebastian's case, guys. You know, even so much as having Mr. Yummy say, they're watching my videos before they speak, right? You know, so freedom of speech is good in a way, but it's not good when it leads to a lot of falsehoods and garbage, right? And hate. And, you know, it's too bad that in the entire world we don't have like a happy medium. Kind of a happy medium. Kanan, it seems to you he shut up, which might be in his best interest. He might have a lawyer now, right? And it would be in his best interest to shut up. I'm curious. Did he finally get that polygraph? And did he fail it? I mean, I would think that would make him shut up. I'm just saying. Exactly, Ginger. CP has shown me how some follow social media and learn to adapt their statements and their behaviors. But in the end, they can try to emulate as much as they need to, but it is difficult to lie. And in statement analysis, your words will betray you, right? And we've seen it over and over again, no matter how no matter how much they try to study, we've seen it over and over again. Both of them slip up, right? Um, so but yeah, I mean, I think that's exactly what happens. And as much as they try to do the 7 steps, they fail every single time. I saw a post, I think it was this morning, that said that um, Katie's not talking because she's not ready. Gee, we're, what, 16 months into this now? When's she going to be ready? When is Katie going to be ready to talk? You know, so yeah, it makes me wonder. And did you guys see their post about let's see. Oh, here it is. So Smiley did do an open letter. Again, guys, I am not encouraging anyone to do this, okay? I am not encouraging anyone to do this. But I wanted to read it to you because it does talk about their recent statement. And she said, "Here's my open letter that was emailed to Brandon Carter and TBI, both CC'd in same email, along with the original letter, CP and KP attachment, and the copy I pasted in my letter as well. This to me is very concerning, and I feel they do need to be aware, and yes, it should raise another red flag in my opinion. How many flags do we need now? How many do we got? I lost count. Regarding posts from Chris and Katie, Proudfoot, Sebastian Rogers. From me to Brandon Carter and one more. 2:03 p.m. May 26th. Dear Detective Carter and TBI investigation team, I am writing to bring to your attention a concerning social media post made by Katie Proudfoot and Chris Proudfoot on May 25th, 2025, National Missing Children's Day. As you are aware, their stepson Sebastian Rogers remains missing. What stands out about their post is that Sebastian is never mentioned by name. The tone is impersonal, resembling a holiday greeting rather than a heartfelt message from guardians of a missing child. It seems focused more on general sentiment and public perception than on finding their son. They acknowledge listening all day, implying they are closely monitoring online activity rather than actively searching or publicly pleading for help. Given the nature of this case, a lack of emotional urgency and personalization raises serious red flags that I believe warrant further scrutiny by law enforcement. I respectfully ask that this be taken into consideration as part of the larger behavioral pattern under review. Below is the exact text they posted. Please let everyone know that we have been listening all day. We are so grateful to see all of those who care about the missing. We are blown away by the participation of everyone. There's always a flame that burns for every missing. Families are waiting for that day when they are reunited with their loved ones. We pray and hope all of the fundraising will help NCMEC bring closure to everyone. May God bless and spread love to everyone from our family to yours. Love, Chris and Katie." I urge your team to take this post, its timing, and its tone seriously, and consider how it fits into the larger context of their behavior since Sebastian's disappearance. The public is watching and deeply invested in seeing justice for Sebastian. Thank you for your continued efforts to bring Sebastian home. Please don't hesitate to contact me if any additional context is needed. So what do you think, guys? Yeah, corruption. So what do you think about that, guys? I have to honestly say her point about what they said is concerning to me. They didn't mention Sebastian at all. His name, nothing. Listening all day. Listening all day, guys. Really. What about pursuing tips for Sebastian? What about helping Seth find your son? They're listening all day about the missing children. I don't know. Tell me what you guys think. What are your thoughts about their comments, their paragraph? Love, Chris and Katie. I want to know. Please tell me. It's a chore for them. I think they're busy trying to make themselves look good, is what I think. I agree. Bless Smiley, but I don't think the letter will help. Sadly, Seth was right. SCSO doesn't care. I agree. I agree. What happened from them hugging him at the 1 year mark to now? So what the feet wrote was a thank you to the obstacles who had a bash for cash while they raised money for that organization. And they did. They did raise money for that organization. Lovely, isn't it? I couldn't agree with you more, Factory Girl. What they expect from a post like that, empty vessels. Yeah, empty vessels. Empty vessels. Yep. They're still doing damage control, aren't they, Melissa? They're still doing damage control. Every time they speak, it's damage control. Poor, poor, pitiful me. Yep. That's what they do. Right? I mean, and I agree with K9 and bless Smiley. You know, she's a great woman. She really does care about Sebastian. But the letter is not going to help anything, in my opinion. So what percentage actually get to the nonprofit? God only knows. Every nonprofit is different. I have heard things about all of them, guys, and I don't know. Why are we surprised, right, K9? They've been like that from the start. Why would they change now? Yeah. I mean, I don't think Carter is going to look at it any differently than I don't know. You know, it's what in reality, what can he do? They're not confessing to anything. You know what I'm saying? What can he do? This is just another paragraph in a long line of other paragraphs that they have talked about in the last 16 months, guys, that, you know, go to poor, pitiful me, right? That's a song, wasn't it? Yeah, a couple did to raise money. And, you know, guys, I don't mean to downplay that at all, because if they were raising money for St. Jude and that money got to St. Jude, then that's incredible. I love that, right? It's a good thing. I don't know, Ginger. I I I don't think so. Well, yeah, I know. His rant to Brittany was horrific. Let me see. St. Jude Charity. No. Your support helps ensure that families never receive a bill from St. Jude for treatment, travel, housing, or food, so they can focus on helping their child live, saving kids regardless of their financial situation. So, no, and that's what I thought it was about. It was, yeah, I agree. I agree. Handing out flyers or posting pictures of missing children, right? I agree. You bring up a really good point. They'll be investigated, they'll be questioned. I agree with you 100%, Factory Girl. Yeah. I mean, when you think about everything, um, yeah, yeah. Why? So let me see. MCMEC. What about supporting the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children? What about that? Right? Volunteer, ways to give, program partners, events, store, donate, right? What about that one? I wish I would have thought about that. I would have done a fundraiser for them. Right? No, I'm just saying. $2024 in the numbers. Let's see what it says. "2024 NCMEC assisted law enforcement with 29,568 cases of missing children and helped bring 91% of them home. The risks, especially online, are becoming more complex and widespread. 2024 alone, we saw a 1,325% increase in cyber tip line reports that involve generative AI technology." Oh gosh. Do I really want to read this? Oh man. Yeah, I mean, for me, this is who I would give to. But yeah, parents who don't go looking for their child, you don't look for something that you know where they are. You know where something is, you're not going to go looking for it. Right? 29,000 cases, guys, but they helped bring 91% of them home in 2024. To me, that's the place to donate. Oh, that is who the obstacles raise money for as per CP's request. I thought they said that they raised it for something else. Oh, Melissa said that a couple raised money for St. Jude, but others raised it for NCMEC. Well, okay, then at CP's request, good job. I'm going to give him kudos, guys. He wanted money for them. Yay. Does anybody know how much was given for that day? Actually, maybe they should have looked at Tennessee's database. I don't know if they raised money or not. Probably corrupt. Let me see. Oh my gosh. Oh, it's TBI. So, yeah. Tennessee Bureau of Investigation has a missing children's database, and that's where I go to. Oh, there's another new one. Another new one. May 23rd, 2025, 15 years old, Dyersburg, Tennessee. Gabriel Farrell. Every time I log on here, guys, there's another new one at the top. But you probably see some of these faces from before. I am all the way down. To here, the last one I did. Okay, so I'll be down to 2008, actually, guys, except for the new one that's at the top of the page. So I'll probably start doing from other states. 2008, I don't know if I think they're pretty much gone. It was over 4,000. Well, that's good. I mean, I'm glad that money went for that, right? And if you're wondering where Sebastian is, he's right there. Yeah. That's only Tennessee that I'm showing you right now. But yeah. Well, I'm glad the money was raised for NCMEC. I hope that that's where it goes to. We know that in the beginning there were blip boards that there was money raised for and no receipts were given. So I sincerely hope that money goes to NCMEC because they deserve it. So, I do have a grannyism for tonight. A criminal investigation is like a construction site. Everything has to be done in the proper order or the building will not hold up. Henning Mackle said that. And I was thinking about that because we heard that other officer talk the other day about things should be done a certain way, and they weren't in Lily and Jack's case, and we knew they weren't in Sebastian's case. The home has to be checked the very first day, road shut down, crime scene investigation brought in to the home, parents separated to talk, all that kind of stuff, right? And we know that wasn't done in Sebastian's case as well. And if it's not done correctly, the foundation's going to fail. They're not going to have everything that they need, right, to find these children the way that they need to. Oh, the fundraising app for YouTube. I'd have to look, but I think then YouTube sends that money directly to that. But I agree with you, Neuro. FBI protocol needs to be followed as standard. And in these smaller places, they don't do it. They're not either they're not trained on what they should do, or they think that they don't have to because this is a special case, right? First of all, Sumner County should not be the leading agency in this case because they do live in Hendersonville. Number one. Yeah. And it's not a matter of was all the stuff done. Was it done in the order, the proper order? A criminal investigation is like a construction site. Everything has to be done in the proper order, or the building will not hold up. If you don't do the foundation work, you're going to have a problem. Not just was it done in the beginning? And that, if these things are not done in the beginning, it leads to a breakdown. The building doesn't hold up, right? The investigation doesn't hold up. So we've seen that in every case so far. Oh, yeah. Some good old boys, never meaning no harm. I got that song now in my head. Factory Girl. Yep. Good old boys, never meaning no harm. That's why instead of calling 911, you call your buddies, right? So, and no worries, Nero. Happy to have you here. Yeah. Sebastian was failed from the beginning. And when was the beginning, right? Was it when they moved into the house on Stafford Court? When all the CPS reports started? That nobody conveniently told Seth about? That's when he was failed, in my opinion. So hopefully we will find more and more, right? And I hope we start getting some kind of update, something, right? I guess if they don't have anything, they're not going to tell us anything, right? But anyway, I saw that statement, and I really it spoke to me because it's so true. If things aren't done in the beginning, things crumble, right? Crumble around us, and that's exactly what we saw in Sebastian's case. I don't know enough about Summer Wells' case to know that, right? So but it'll be interesting. It'll be interesting. All we can do is have faith, pray for those kids. Yeah, if they have something they're not going to tell us, just all of a sudden we'll hear about charges or location of bodies, but I'm not holding out any hope for bodies to be found in Jack and Lily's case, and I could be wrong. I could be very wrong. I hope that I am, but that ocean is just too close, guys, too close for comfort. I agree, Melissa. I think that's exactly what he did. We've got a situation here, hoping you can help us out. Well, keep in mind back when Seth started that petition, Ginger, we found out afterwards, even Seth said it, that they can't just come in and take over. Sumner County has to let them. And that they have been helping when asked, but they can't just come in and take over. FBI gold standard should be universal. I agree. They changed the rules for that with the John Benet Ramsey case, because remember that they changed protocols. Because remember how they let everybody walk through that house? And she was there. Who knows how much evidence was tainted? I mean, so they changed protocols, but law enforcement agencies are still not following those protocols, and that's what's wrong, right? I agree. I hope that some kind of evidence or something is found, or a confession happens, so that there can be justice in their case. I really do hope so, because, like I said, I hope I'm wrong, but I hold out very, very little hope that those babies are going to be brought home. And you guys know I don't normally talk like that, but the police were talking that way from the get-go. So, just makes you wonder. So, all right, guys, that's really all I had for today. I want to thank you all for being here. If you haven't already, please hit the like button on your way out. And Ginger put the link for the petition in there if you do want to sign it for Seth. I don't know how much it will help. He's been collecting signatures for over a year. But I mean, there's always hope, right? There's always hope. So thank you guys for being here tonight. I appreciate each and every one of you so much, and we will see you tomorrow night. Have a great night. Thank you for watching another episode of Granny's Crime Busters. We really appreciate each and every one of you. Don't forget to subscribe and like and even share the content. You can follow us on any of our other social media platforms at YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok. We really appreciate you guys, and you can also email us at granniescrimebusters@gmail.com. Thank you so much, and we will see you on the next one. Thanks, guys.